How big a tank do you trust yourselves in, ladies and gentlemen? I woke up this morning and I am stopping the junk food, going back to the gym, starting to get my schedule back in order. I was a little depressed, but I'm going to be all right. And I got a beautiful text message today with a picture from one of my good friends who's in Italy, and my good friends in Italy having a great Tuscan vacation, and still takes the time to think about me and send me this. And I wanted to ask you, ladies and gentlemen, how big a tank do you trust yourself in? And here's what this says. It says a shark in a fish tank will grow to be 8 inches, but in the ocean, it can grow to be 8 feet or more. And trust me, I've been this close to a 17-foot great white shark. He's right. The shark will never outgrow its environment. And the same is true about you. Many times we're around, and may I add, keep ourselves around small thinking people so we don't grow. Change your environment and watch your growth. How big of a tank do you trust yourself in? And I think the best way to answer that question is to look around in your environment and see how big a tanks you normally put yourself in. Now, I do silly things sometimes, and I do dramatic things sometimes, and I do things sometimes that people say that I shouldn't do. But and let me just say, and part of the reason I do that is because I like to live in a big tank. I like to push myself. I like to be in a big tank so I can grow. So yes, sometimes going into a big tank, you can be a little fish in a big pond and it can end up hurting you. But you will never know who you are. You'll never know what you can be. You'll never know what you can do until you get out of a small tank and get into a big tank and trust yourself to be a little fish in a big pond. How do you know how you can grow? How do you know what you can be? How do you know what you can do? Unless you give yourself the opportunity to do it. And so many of you, because it's not me anymore, so I'm definitely going to talk about you. So many of you underestimate yourselves. So many of you limit yourselves. So many of you stay within a small tank because you're comfortable in a small tank. You know the tank, you know the dimensions of it, you know where the little diver that puts the bubbles out is. You know every so often somebody's going to drop you some food on the top of the water and it's going to float down and you just have to stand there and open your mouth and eat it. Some of you like being in that comfortable little tank. And I want to say shame on you, but it's not really my place to say shame on you, is it? But it is my place to encourage you to grow beyond these self-imposed limitations that you place on yourself, to expand your horizons beyond the place that you've kept yourself in for years and years and years and years. And know this, my friend, it's only you that prevents you from being in a bigger tank. It's only you that keeps yourself in the small, the restricting, the comfortable. You've heard me say it before. There's nothing remarkable in your comfort zone. Never is, never has been, never will be. As long as you stay in your little bitty, sad, limiting little tank, you're really going to be a sad, small, insignificant person. You're better than that. So much better than that. You deserve a big tank experience. What's the worst thing that could happen? Take a chance. Go into a big tank. Grow. And if you're not happy with it, you can always go back to the little tank. But don't you want to grow? Don't you want to expand? Don't you want to become more, bigger, better, stronger, faster? Don't you, what did Nacho Libre say? Don't you want to taste a little bit of the glory, see what it tastes like? Don't you want to taste a little bit of the glory, see what it tastes like? Don't you want something better? Don't you want something exciting? Don't you want something that means something? Are you really comfortable in your little bitty tank, your little bitty world that's always been the same and never pushes you, never challenges you? That's it, isn't it? That's why we want to stay in the little tank, because we don't want to be challenged. We don't want to be questioned. We don't want to be pushed. We're comfortable. Well, Jeff, I like this tank and it's comfortable for me, and I've been in a lot worse tanks. I hear you. I hear you. I just think more of you than you do, because I can acknowledge you've been in worse tanks. I can acknowledge you come a long way, baby. But there's so much more for you. And I can't sit here in my supernatural t-shirt and allow you to live a natural, mundane life. How big a tank are you comfortable in? How big a tank do you trust yourself in? It's up to you. I'm here to help you ask questions, question answers. I'm here to help you unindoctrinate yourself. I'm here to help you create yourself a cousin that is an inside job. And I guess the question is, how big of a place are you allowing yourself to be inside of? I'm Jeffrey Daugherty. This is New Cosmic Knowledge. Stay tuned for some broadcast excellence today. Great stuff yesterday about a revelation about the flower of life. Check that out. The Wayne show was really good yesterday, and so was the show about opinions and options. Check them out. That really is life-changing information. I salute all of you for being here seeking after truth. And I wish you all love and light. And just ask yourself today as we go forward, you are the last generation of real humans. Ask yourself, when's the last time I pushed myself? When's the last time I extended myself? And maybe is it time I trust myself in a bigger tank? Only you can answer. But we need you, because we are the last generation of real humans. Let's get busy, ladies and gentlemen.